about many, many negative experiences with designers and builders and so forth. So I was a little bit intimidated and not really anxious to do it in the beginning. But then I realized that after talking and working with Steve for a while, that he understands that this is your home. This is you, and this is something that you're going to have to live with long after he leaves. And so he takes that into account, and he doesn't force or push his concepts and ideas on you. He really wants you to have what you want. And he was always reliable and consistent, always very accessible. And that made the whole process a lot easier also, because that from my conversations with others who'd gone through the same process, it wasn't always that easy. So.
Steve, he put me through a whole interview process through that process gave him a lot of ideas what I was first looking for. But he's also just easy to talk to. So even during the process, I would come to the house and about every day, as probably anybody who's building a home does. And if there's one little thing that I didn't enjoy or didn't anticipate in the house, I could call him up, and he was immediately ready, and even ahead of me. Jackie, I already know about it. It's on my list. I knew that wouldn't pass what you were wanting. Steve was there to be able to guide me in my choices and to bring out what I truly wanted in the home. He told me, Jackie, this is what this can stand up, this won't work, this won't structurally work, that type of thing. And I felt that he was able to push my personal limits to get what I truly wanted out of the home. To this day, there isn't a thing that I would change in the house. I think it came out exactly what I wanted it to be, and then 10 times more. I feel like I've gotten far more out of the house than what I went into it expecting.
Steve was such a listener, and we just started talking through what we were looking for, and we realized we did know what we wanted just by talking through it together and telling him what we wanted. And then he just listened, and we did all the talking, and he was able to map out what we needed through that process.
Yeah, he made quite a lot of little modifications that as we went through, and even on the fly when we were building, it was, okay, it doesn't make sense for this closet to be here. Is there any way we can move it? Yeah, let's make that change. Let's put that in there.
I think Steve did a good job on listening to the both of us. He was very flexible, and he understood when we were both speaking and sometimes even arguing together. He would kind of figure out a median place for the both of us and come to terms to find the colors and the design that would work for both of our lives.
Yeah.
But I would say we were pretty agreeable, but sometimes we needed Steve to be our intermediary.
Our mediator.
Yeah.
Right. When we first started building, we had kind of a set amount in mind, and I think that Steve was really good with kind of going back and forth and really just making sure we knew what we were getting and what we were paying for. And there were certain things that we said, okay, we would like to have this, and we knew it was going to add cost. And he was always very good at communicating that and understanding that, okay, if we want to cut cost here, let's knock this off and we can change that. If we want to add cost here, if we want to upgrade of any type, you could add that too. There's so many little things that we didn't realize when you're building a house that, there's so many decisions to make and so many little things that make your house unique. Mm-hmm. Whereas I guess, most of the other people we've known that have built houses, it's pick this house and this design and that's what you get. And so it was kind of unique in that fact, in that regard. But we just wanted a nice home that fit and, was good for us. And it's interesting because now whenever we talk about, okay, what's our next home going to look like? I don't want a traditional home that you can go find a design for anywhere. I want a house that's incredibly unique. No one else has anything like it. It doesn't have to be gaudy or huge or anything. I just want it to be unique, and I want it to be ours. And, to really fit, what we want, what our lifestyle is like. And I think that the fact that he did that makes me realize that that's what I always want to have. I'm not going to settle for anything but that going forward. So, from that
He
standpoint.
set a high standard.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to seek him out when we want that future house. We're going to have to find him. I mentioned that we had a lot of pride for our house. I think he did too. And so he would come over and he would get giddy when certain things would get done correctly. He would say, "You got to see this." And he was just so proud. And it made for a lot of excitement for us too.
Yeah.